Hello, my name is Nathan Carlson. I'm the owner of Motocross University. I'm sitting here at Oak Hill MX track. It's the third round of the Winter Series. Sitting here with Trampas Parker, two-time world champion. And Motocross University and Trampas Parker are going to put together some training DVDs throughout this year and also kick off the Trampas Parker MX school. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the interview. I just wanted everybody to get the opportunity to get to know Trampas Parker. He just got inducted into the Hall of Fame. And we're going to start from the beginning. So Trampas, where did you grow up?
I was born in Louisiana, and then in kindergarten I moved down to Texas and grew up down there around Bridge City, Texas, which is a little on the east side of Beaumont. And great life. We grew up playing in the water all the time, racing on Sundays. Back then you didn't get to ride like you do nowadays, but great place to grow up in Texas.
When did you get your first bike?
At the age of 7, my dad gave me that as my birthday present, and actually that was one of the greatest gifts I've ever gotten until this day, and I don't think there's anything better for a kid than receiving a motocross bike.
So you got your bike, and then how did you ever get in riding motocross, or how did you start motocross?
Well, my dad did some enduros and stuff, and I was always going with him, and then my cousin raced motocross, and then after a couple of months of having the bike, we went and did my first race back in 1974, and luckily I ended up winning it, and it all took off from there.
So that led up to you moving over to Europe.
Oh, in 1985 I started the Supercross season. I was one of the 2 factory 125 Kawasaki riders. First race ended up third, and second race I really busted up the ankle real bad, and the doctor said I'd never ride again. But, you know, doctors are like that, and motocross riders are different. We tend to do things our own way.
Who have you rode for in the past? What factory teams?
I was a Team Green rider as a kid. That's where I won Loretta Lynn's and most of my amateur titles. And then I moved up to the big bike class and was the Team Green rider back then. And then I ended up going over to Europe and rode for factory KTM, rode for factory Honda HRC, and I had a blast. Let's just say it was the greatest thing in the world.
Well, you didn't become a factory rider without hard work. How did you train to be as good as you became?
Let's just say my dad had a lot to do with that, because he always said once you start something, you take it to the end. And there wasn't no quitting in anything that we did at my house. And if you decided to run cross country, which I did, and you had to take it all the way to the end. If you played football, baseball, any sport, you know, he expected the most out of you. And motocross was what I liked the most because it was an individual sport, and I wasn't much of a team player because I'd always get upset when I'd see people not giving it 100% when I was. And motocross was the sport where I just felt that it was up to me whether I won or lost.
So you did try some other sports then throughout school?
Yeah, I played football, I played baseball, I played basketball. I played a little bit of everything, run cross country, but I still don't think there's anything like motocross.
Talking about your dad, you mentioned your dad. Tell us about the Parker family.
Oh, let's just say that me and my brother were pretty lucky because I guess my mom and dad gave up pretty much everything for me and my brother. It was a family where we always sat down every night and ate together, and you talked about the things that you did during the day, and we did everything together. When we was at the races, it was a family deal. My mom was there doing the, feeding us, making the sandwiches. My dad was working on the bikes, and I don't think we could ask for anything better. He disciplined us, and it was one of them things. It was always yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. It wasn't like today where the kids don't have that much respect, and I think that's something that the parents ought to really look into, is getting back to a little bit of the discipline.
Your family was really involved. So you grew up racing and riding in Texas then, or Louisiana?
No, I was born in Louisiana, but I grew up my whole career in Texas. I went to school in Texas. I graduated from Texas. Basically, I'm a Texan because that's where I was raised. And then until I moved to Europe in 1987, that's where I was at. All my racing and everything. We'd go over to Louisiana and do some races, but the main thing was down here in Texas, and even to this day, Texas has great motocross. And we're hoping to bring a little bit over to Louisiana with our new track and everything, but Texas is a great place for motocross. I don't think you can ask for better.
What age would you say that you were at your peak in your career?
Oh, I don't think there's a specific age that I peaked. I think I held it for quite a while. There was some ups and downs. You know, you always have injuries that play a crucial part in any career, and when I broke my back, that set me back a little bit, and I come back over that. In 1998, I come back and had won every preseason race, and we had a front brake break on the factory KTM, and ended up breaking the knee 1 week before the GP started, and that was another big setback. And you know, after a couple things like that, it gets a little demoralizing because you're always right there. And I know I should have won a bunch more titles, but it didn't work out that way. But that's life.
What was your most memorable moment?
I think the most memorable was when I called my dad and told him that I really wanted him to be there in '89 when I was going to win my first title, and he flew over, and the week leading up to the world title was an absolute blast. We had a great time together and everything, and then just wrapping the title up with him being there, that was a really good moment. Another great moment that I can remember is going to the road races here a little over a year and a half ago, watching my son do his first road race, and that's probably right up there with anything I've ever won.
So talking about winning, obviously in sports, winning is a very big deal. Tell us what winning means to you and how does it feel?
I think winning isn't just about being the guy that comes across the finish line first. I think winning is also respecting your competitors. And that's one of the things that I can't stand today is when I see a kid get beat, he won't admit that, hey, the guy was faster than me. He beat me today. So I'm going to sit down, I'm going to buckle down, and I'm going to study what he did better than me. And I'm going to go out and beat him. And that's what makes winners. It's not just because you finish first today, because there's going to be a lot of riders throughout the year who wins races. But to be a real winner, it's the guy who can get beat and come back and defend himself. And that's why Carmichael was so strong. Every time he got beat, he turned it into a plus. And that's why he was the champion he was.
So now you're back in Louisiana in the U.S. When did you move back, and what led up to your moving back to the U.S.?
Oh, it'd been several years. I was ready to come home, and then Ricky, my oldest son, who road races, he's living with me and everything. Unfortunately, me and his mom's not together, but it's two different lifestyles, two cultures, and I decided to come back, and she stayed in Italy. And I felt I was ready to come back. A dream of mine from when I first won my first world title. I said I'm going to come back and open a big track, give the kids a place to ride, give them what they really need. And that's something I think a lot of the tracks have lost till this day. And I think everybody's basing everything on making money, and they forgot about what racing's really about. Trampas Park today, and it's a beautiful windy day. I've rode two motos so far. I had a second in the first one, and I've had a first in the second moto, and I got two more, so hopefully I'll be able to stay on the top of the podium in each one of those.